Hey YouTube, POD7 here, with another comic book haul video. Obviously it's another lazy one, and as you can probably tell, I am sick. And it's actually like 5 o'clock in the morning, because I slept all day yesterday, and now I couldn't sleep. Got like 2 hours of sleep, so I figured might as well be productive, and especially while my voice sounds really cool right now. So, it's like, I hate my normal voice, but when it's really deep, I like it, and when it's really high, like with helium or like speeding it up to different tones, it's pretty cool, but just can't stand my normal voice most of the time. So, yeah. Anyway, comic books. Uh, I'm gonna do it mostly in alphabetical order this time. I saved Wonder Woman and Batwoman stuff for last. But I'll have some miscellaneous stuff in between as well that's not necessarily um, alphabetical. So, and I'm going to be taking lots of drinks, but I'm going to try to get this done in 30 minutes this time. So, here we have All Star Batman number 7. Sorry about that. This was an issue focusing around Poison Ivy, and I can't remember if Scott Snyder wrote this, but I read an interview, I think on Comic Book Resource, and he was saying that he was intrigued by the idea of what do villains do when they're not being villains, and so he wanted to take Poison Ivy, who kind of rides the line between villain and anti-hero sometimes, and especially because she could potentially be one of the most serious threats in the DC universe because of her connection to the Green now. So I decided to pick it up, even though it was a $5 issue, which yeah, I had my reservations about it when I got to the store, but it was definitely worth it. The art was really good, and the writing made sense for Poison Ivy, and I kind of wish that was her uh, temperament going forward. But you know how it is when characters get written by different art authors all the time. So anyway, we got some more Batgirl and the Birds of Prey. The new Oracle was revealed, and it was a no-name, like nobody we've ever heard of before. So it was a massive wasted opportunity, in my opinion. But then we find out, I think it was in this issue, yeah, issue 7 maybe, that he's the guy. Yeah, it's a guy being Oracle. Is being directed by somebody else to keep an eye on them. So, yeah, that's basically the only reason I'm continuing this book right now, because that was such a letdown to me. I didn't get some pictures for some books, so it's going to be like the Google version of the covers and stuff. This one I had missed out on, so I had Dave at Hall of Heroes order it for me. Yeah, second semester, the revelation in this issue was pretty good. Spoiler. I'll be interested to see where they go with it, but hopefully it's not like, it feels like the kind of thing that you would do when you're about to end the book. And so that'd be kind of sad if the second semester book ended before it even hit the halfway point that the first version, I guess, of Gotham Academy. So, and I picked this up on a whim. I had a lot of duplicate comic books, and so I took them down and got store credit, and decided to pick up this because they had Hall of Heroes had 2 variants that I liked. Of course, you know I'm all about the female heroes, so I had to get the the Pink Ranger and the Yellow Ranger. I specifically like the pose for Trini here, but and they actually remembered to leave the skirt off for this one, so that's pretty cool. And I actually just now noticed that it's Jon Stewart on the cover. I think it's Hal in the book, but I don't remember. It seemed like it was anyway, but yeah, this one is pretty cool. It's the kind of thing that could easily be translated into an animated film. So I almost wonder if they're trying for that, since it's only a 6-issue miniseries, but we'll see what happens. This was at number 1, and it's a one-shot for Killer Frost, and I figured, since I enjoyed her a lot on Justice League, the cartoon, and she's being presented as, she's kind of getting the best Suicide Squad deal ever. She's going to be on the Justice League team, or at least the JLA, and so I figured I'd pick it up as a celebration of her becoming a quote-unquote hero, at least for now. This was a postcard kind of thing that Dave from Hall of Heroes had made up. He was trying to make a magnet of this cover, and the picture was just too big, and he didn't know what to do with it, so he gave it to me. And I've taped it to the front of my Batwoman box, so it came in handy. This must be the miscellaneous section, but I finally got a Rosalina amiibo and a Daisy amiibo, so it's kind of like the squad is together now, basically. This was another poster Dave gave to me. He said that he figured he could either put it up in the window and let it fade after months of sun exposure, or he could give it to somebody that would enjoy it, so he gave it to me. So thanks to Dave for always thinking of me. This is Princess Ever After by Katie O'Neill. It started out as a webcomic, and she self-published a hardcover edition from what I recall. And it's just a great fantasy tale about defying gender roles, and of course the art is adorable, as you can see from the cover here. So I just wanted to support an internet webcomic. It feels like I've been a fan of Gunnar Krigg Court for almost a decade now, I think, and I keep telling myself I'm going to order the books, but I always forget. Whenever I have money, it's like I always forget. So one of these times, I'm going to just have a video where it's all 6 volumes, I think it's up to now, of Gunnar Krigg Court, hopefully. So and I finished the Raven miniseries. I'm only missing number 1, and the longer I wait to get it, the more expensive it's going to get, so I need to get on picking that up. And especially because I haven't read any of it yet. Excuse me. This is probably a bad idea. I have a Ricola in my mouth right now, but I'm going to drink too. Okay. Ooh, mercy. I hate being sick. But I hate not having anything to do when I'm not sleeping either. So, Shade the Changing Girl, I actually dropped this series. It was just getting to the point where I was getting so many comics every month that something had to give, and this wasn't turning out how I expected. Like, I appreciated the first 2 or 3 issues, but it's not working out, so something had to give. I'd give it a shot if you're looking for something that's not Cape, basically, and it's just a really psychedelic kind of book, so if you're into that, check it out. Trinity is going pretty good. I was happy to see Poison Ivy involved. But yeah, it's weird getting used to the three of them not knowing each other again. Since, like, even in the New 52, they got to becoming, I don't want to say friends, but comrades pretty soon. So, yeah. If you want the explanation to Trinity, go back to, I think, 2 comic book hauls ago. I'm pretty sure I explained it there. So, they're moving into the new arc, which is Cersei and Luther and Ra's al Ghul have some kind of like destiny to be villains. Like their visage is carved into a rock wall in a temple somewhere. Yeah, that's about it. I love the new design for Cersei though. She looks A++, 15 out of 10. Here we have Wonder Woman: The True Amazon by Jill Thompson. It's a one-off hardcover graphic novel, and it's basically a retelling of Diana's origins without Steve Trevor, and it makes way more sense. And it's basically, I think I originally called it the best Wonder Woman origin ever, but since I haven't read them all, that's kind of a arrogant thing to say or claim anyway. So, but it's definitely really good, and I think it makes more sense along with what her character is these days. So, like the Steve Trevor origin made sense for the time it was written, and it doesn't pass anymore, in my opinion. So, check it out if you want. It's almost always on sale on Amazon, so definitely recommend it. And of course, I'm following the bi-weekly Wonder Woman series. Sorry for the blurry pictures. The variant covers are definitely way better somehow, so I try to pick those up whenever I can. It's kind of funny, like Frank Cho, like had such a fit about being censored, quote unquote. And then someone else I don't even know who the artist is that does these awesome variant covers, but they came along and blew it out of the park, so without having to stoop to Cho's cheesecake level, so. Yeah, like, see, this is perfectly acceptable to me. Like, it's not what she usually wears, but it's still, like, aesthetically pleasing. There's a nice curve, so your eyes follow from the top to the bottom. There's a lot of cool art, like, things going on here. My brain's not working, obviously, but I love this one. This almost reminds me of some J.H. Williams, like, Batwoman Series 1, Volume 1, whatever you want to call it, art, so. And these are some old Brave and the Bold comics that I picked up because I saw a specific cover on Pinterest, of all things, and so I wanted to see if Hall of Heroes had that, and I ended up impulse buying several here, so yeah, this is the oldest one, number 78. Like, I guess that would be well, 78 months into the series, so God, doing math while I'm sick and tired. So this is a bad idea. Okay, 48 would be 4 years. 12 and 48 is 60, right? 60. So about just over 7 years, I guess, which is pretty crazy. I think the oldest one he had was 55, somewhere in there. I think it's funny, this is Wonder Woman, and guest starring Batgirl. She's down in the lower end. For some reason, my picture cut off really bad here. So we have Batman and Wonder Woman, and then Batman and the new Wonder Woman, less than 10 issues later. And for those that don't know, the new Wonder Woman is the era where she dropped the patriotic clothes, period, and just wore an all-white pantsuit, basically. And I think she lost her powers, too, or something like that, and she was basically Diana Prince, street justice warrior, basically. I don't know. I don't really know much about that time, but I just thought it was a pretty cool cover, and it's Wonder Woman, so see if you can spot why I got this one. Obviously, Batman and Wonder Woman is a good combo, and I just thought it was hilarious that they have the Catwoman. I haven't bothered to read this one yet, and so I'm not even sure if that's actual Selena Kyle Catwoman, or like if she's just wearing a weird costume in this one, or what. But yeah, I just thought it was funny, so I got it. Another Wonder Woman, Black Canary. I'm a big fan of Black Canary, and this is actually a pretty good issue. I actually bothered to read this one. And Batman almost dies by poison kiss. It's not, or a cyanide kiss, basically. It's pretty. It reminded me of Poison Ivy's plot in the animated series. So, and this is the cover I wanted to get. This is the one I saw on Pinterest: Batwoman and Catwoman, number 197 of Brave and the Bold. As you can see, the price has gone up to 60 whole cents. So, much later on than that oldest one. And okay, this is the start of Batwoman stuff. She just kind of shows up on her bike in this one, and that's literally the only two panels she's in this book. But so I'm including it, and she's all over this issue. But as you can see up in the top center of the cover here, she's on the cover, so I didn't bother taking any pictures of the inside. They have a cool fight, and they have some good bants in there, and Mother Panic basically tell her to F off without censoring, so it's that good old $3.99 mature audiences only writing for you, so. I forget this, I think this guy's name is Gala, or this villain's name is Gala. It's kind of an androgynous person, so I'm not entirely sure if it's a boy or a girl, or in between. So, but it's an interesting villain, as you'll see by the end of that book, so definitely pick it up. And I was finally lucky enough to pick up a copy of Love is Love, the collaboration effort from DC and IDW and a bunch of indie authors, and not even necessarily people involved in comics, but everyone, or as far as I know, every cent of the proceeds of this go to the families, the victims' families of the Orlando nightclub shooting. So, it's something like that. They give some proceeds to it at least. So, yeah, it's a really great collaboration. Just so many heart-wrenching tales and hopeful pages. It's incredible. I at first thought this was going to be a series or something, and I thought this was going to be the variant cover, and I was like, dude, I have to have that. But yeah, it would be really cool if there was a shirt with this on it someday. So there's just some appearances by Kate in there. Lots of cool stories in there. Actually, Dan DiDio, the senior editor of DC, has a gathering of gay characters in a dance club, which was kind of interesting considering what he did to Batwoman. But and here we go, Bombshells again. You see a cameo by my thumb. Bombshells is just ridiculous at this point. Marguerite Bennett is. You can tell they're not holding her back at all on this series, so if you're of the persuasion, definitely pick it up. It's definitely much more than a pinup book, so as I switch to this cover, obviously, but yeah, pastel Bombshells, pretty good. Then you have the propaganda style covers, which are always fun. Some more blurry pictures, I'm sorry about that, but yeah, the Victims Syndicate kind of had a anticlimactic ending. You don't find out who Victim Zero or whatever his name is, who he is, or they are, so. Yeah, what else happens here? Oh, the colony attack the Belfry. It's pretty cool, I guess. This issue was really cool. Marcio Takara did some pages. He's one of my favorite artists online, and he specifically did some pages where Cass is watching a ballerina, I think. But yeah, this issue is all about Cass, basically. It's really good. And then one of my favorite villains of all time shows up, which makes Detective Comics pretty much my favorite book right now, besides Batwoman. So, which shouldn't shock anybody really, but basically the League of Shadows faked a Joker gassing and is instead attacking the Bat family, and they're gonna kill all of Gotham because Cass failed her mother's test. So, yep, just another day in Gotham. I love this cover. Even Dave at Hall of Heroes was like, "Whoa, this is a really cool cover." And yeah, it's actually pretty big spoilers. So read at your own peril, I guess. I picked this up at Prairie Dog Comics in Wichita, Kansas, and it was just sitting there on a stand, and I was like, is this free? Can I have this? Like, oh yeah, sure. So I just thought it was cool that they really had a big push for her, so it went in the collection. And here it is. Batwoman Rebirth #1. It was so good. Like, it almost felt like it was J.H. Williams III and Hayden Blackman back on the book. Like, that's how good it was. You could tell Marguerite Bennett is taking her seriously. She still has some funny lines, but it's not. It's not like Joss Whedon style quip a minute stuff. So, yep, this is a cool splash page, kind of going over, like, just referencing what happened previously, which with a really great. I'm pointing at the screen like you guys can see it, but the cool Wonder Woman Batwoman team up down there. And then, of course, Batwoman #1, which was awesome, for lack of a better term. Of course, you gotta get both covers when they're awesome, so yeah, just there's so much going on in the series. It's kind of crazy. Like, I don't want to spoil it, but I also don't want to just devolve into speculation and stuff either. So yeah, just a really good comic by a good writer and a good artist. Two good writers right now, anyway. But I think that's it. Yep, that's the last picture. So thanks everybody for watching. I'm sorry for being sick, but I felt like I had to do something besides stare at my ceiling all night. So uh, let me know if you want to know anything about anything that I got in this haul in the comments below. Let's see. So my Twitter is at P_O_D7 and twitch.tv/POD7. I took a break and then I got sick, and so it's been an extended break in which I basically just played more Mass Effect Andromeda. So, short thoughts on Andromeda is it's really good, but there were some parts that were disappointing. I think on console, at least in my experience, the glitches were not even remotely as bad as what everybody is making them out to be. Like, compared to Skyrim, which people trip over themselves to talk about as a legendary game. I think in the first week I had Skyrim, it crashed at least 30 times, which is ridiculous for a console game, anyway. So I only had to reset Andromeda 3 times, and it was a definite glitch involving talking to an NPC when you're supposed to be rushing to talk to a different NPC, I think. So, like, it would just lock you in the dialogue wheel, and you wouldn't be able to choose anything, and you couldn't press start to get out of it. So, yeah, other than that, like, no facial. I think the facial thing was overblown, but I don't know. Maybe it is a PC problem, but I definitely didn't see any walking animations that screwed up. So, really enjoyed it. I put 85 hours into my first playthrough and got 96% game completion. So, it's if you want 100% it, you got to put in the time. That's for sure. I started a second playthrough, and I was able to get to like the second to last main quest mission in about 2 hours, which is nuts. So I started going planet by planet and doing all the missions on each planet again. So now my nose is all stuffed up. Oh, this is crazy. Why did I do this? Anyway, take care, guys. Hopefully you're not sick. I should be streaming again fairly soon. I did play some multiplayer. I was going to do my first multiplayer match on Andromeda on Twitch, but I think it was like 7 in the morning, and so I figured nobody would even be playing, but let alone up to watch my Twitch. So, yeah. Just keep an eye out, and I'll be on there again soon, and I'll post whatever comes up on YouTube. So, anyway, this has been POD7, and I'm signing out.